Hey guys, we are back with another paranormal chat. I hope you're enjoying the 31 days of Halloween. It is so chaotic. I am so excited to be posting all of these videos though. It has been such a long time in the making. On this paranormal chat, it is one of my closest friends in the paranormal community. It is Nubz. He has been on my channel before, as you have seen. This is like our third or fourth time doing this. There's so much to talk about. Like, we're always going out doing crazy stuff. So he has some of the most crazy stories that I have ever heard on the channel, and I can't wait to meet him someday and go do an investigation. It'll be so much fun, and I know you guys will love it too. Hi guys, we are here with Nubz again. We have done this so many times, so if you are new to the channel, I will let Nubz tell you a little bit about himself.
What's up, everybody? Adventures with Nubz. On my channel, we mainly go to abandoned and haunted places, but we also do live streams where we talk about urban legends, we talk about cryptids, paranormal experiences, just a bunch of different random topics. But mainly I try to do paranormal side, like, because I like scary stuff. Scarier the better.
Have you had any scary experiences lately?
Not lately, but I've had some. Well, okay. Our last big investigation we did was at this house we've done a few times called the Ward Shadow House. The very first time we went there, our buddy Rob got pushed right after we started filming in the basement. Like, just straight up got shoved, and you see him just straight up falling forward. Well, we did a few more investigations there. Come to find out, somebody died in the basement, and he got buried in the backyard, and they found his body back in 2006.
So recent. Well, not like extremely recent, but recent.
It explains that every time we go there, I look out there and I see eyes, like red eyes out there in the woods. Well, we went and we did a spirit box session where we believe the body was covered up because just the way the ground looks, it looks like something was dug up there. And then we went back in the house and we had a doll with us that we put like on something, and then we had the Ouija board. We did our Ouija board session. Well, all of a sudden, in the middle of the Ouija board session, I look and I see this little girl in the kitchen looking at us and smiling, and then she takes off. So we all, of course, get up and go try to see if we can find her. Well, all of a sudden, you just hear this loud bang, and we look, and the doll's leg that we had there was broke. On the Ouija board, the planchette we had pointing that way, it was now pointing this way. Like, it was just, and then come to find out there was a witch there that lived there, and she sacrificed her daughter in a ritual.
Wow.
Yeah, and we found out so much. Like, we did an hour and like 15-minute investigation, but that was definitely one of the creepiest ones we've done in a while.
What do you think was doing all of that in the house? Like, do you think it was like a negative entity or like the spirit of somebody?
I think it was the entity of the person who was like murdered in the house, and a very negative entity in the witch. So, like, 'cause we knew something was like not demonic in the house, but it was like evil, and we're pretty sure that that's the witch. And the guy, I wouldn't say he's evil, but he's mad and upset, like, that we get. And the little girl, she's just, every time we've seen her, she's always smiling. And we've seen her twice already, like, but that last time was like a pure, like, body standing there. Like,
Have you had any other experiences that have made you just been like, what the fuck?
Yeah, when we went to this place we called it the Rock House. The history, a 16-year-old kid took his own life because he owed somebody owed a lot of money, and before they could get to him, he took his own life. Well, we've been there. Dakota, my buddy's been there twice. I've been there once, and we just kept hearing strange bangs, like gunshot bangs, but there was nobody. It was weird, and we was all in the back room, and there was this car tire that was straight just rolling down the hallway. Like that was pretty intense. But that house sadly got torn down a couple months ago to put a Dollar General up.
Oh, not the Dollar Generals.
Like you tear down a great house.
We went to Missouri a couple weeks ago, and literally we would literally just pass Dollar Generals in the middle of nowhere. Like there was one surrounded by a cornfield, and I was like, there is nowhere around, like no neighborhoods or anything. There's just a random fucking Dollar General on the side of the interstate. Why?
It makes no sense.
They just spawn out of nowhere.
The most terrifying experience I had was one of my first, I don't know, 5, 6 videos. We went to this road 666, and just the whole night was nuts. We heard what I believe was a hellhound. From the research, like that was pretty terrifying. I've seen 2 people get possessed. Like their eyes turn pure white, and they just have a blank stare. Like it was pretty terrifying. One dude, we legit had to carry him back to the car, because he did not want to leave. So we legit just had his freaking, and his eyes were pure white the whole time. I had an attachment for 2 weeks of an 8-year-old kid that passed away on that road. And it just drained my energy. I didn't want to do nothing.
So it followed you home?
Yeah.
How did
Until
you?
I went back. I went back there, and I was like, "Look, you got to stay here. I can't handle you. My energy has been draining so much for 2 weeks straight, and I was just like, I can't do it. I was becoming somebody I wasn't. I took a month break from YouTube and all that from it. It was pretty bad.
That's a lot. Your channel is also about talking about things like cryptids and urban legends. So what is your favorite cryptid?
The Wendigo, hands down, Wendigo is my #1 favorite, and then it would have to be the Hellhound. Only because I had what I believe was an experience with a Hellhound, and it was scary, but it was pretty cool at the same time.
For the people who don't know what a Wendigo is, can you explain it?
Well, there's a bunch of different theories, but mainly it's a Native American urban legend type thing. Some people don't even consider it a cryptid. Some people consider it just to warn kids and to make them behave. Some people also consider it a freaking skinwalker. Some people consider Wendigo is another version of a skinwalker. To me, they're I believe that they did exist, but I think that Wendigos now are more like spirits of the Wendigos. They're not like a Bigfoot where you can actually possibly personally see a Bigfoot. I think Wendigos are like spirits, and the more you know, the more you figure out about them, the more you will have a chance to encounter something.
What is your favorite urban legend?
We've done quite a bit. We've done the whole United States. We did pretty much we're doing the next one we're doing is next week, and we're doing the Urban Legends of Europe. That would end season 2. And then we're going to places cemeteries, colleges, lakes. We're gonna do urban legends about stuff like that, and then we're gonna do holidays. I don't know, probably the Bunny Man from Virginia, just because we tried to go there one Halloween. I don't recommend going to Halloween because the cops stay there all night. But it's just the whole urban legend about, because it is the number one, the biggest urban legend of Virginia.
Yeah.
Right? That's one that pretty much everybody knows about. And we're like maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours away from Bunnyman Bridge, give or take. And we drove out there one night, and there was 4 cop cars. There was 2 at the front of the bridge, and 2 at the other side. And we straight up, bro. I was like, hey, just stop. And I'm gonna ask him. I was like, look, we drove all the way from Lynchburg, and we're here to because we heard about the Bunny Man, and he just started laughing. Like, yeah, there ain't nothing here. But apparently, they do that because people will vandalize that bridge, and it is an active train bridge.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've always been fascinated about the whole myth of the whole myth of the Bunnyman Bridge.
So do the cops sit there like all the time, or is it just like on Halloween?
Halloween, because that's when you can supposedly see the kids hanging from the bridge or whatever, and you can see the Bunnyman. I don't recommend going on Halloween at all.
Yeah. Might get in a little bit of trouble. So do you have any like upcoming investigations or spooky shit going on?
Actually, this Friday we will be at Lake Shawnee, which is definitely on my bucket list. I'm excited about that.
Can you
Um,
explain why Lake Shawnee is so spooky?
Supposedly built on the Indian burial ground, and years ago they tried to build a theme park on it, and it just kept breaking down. Everything, rides kept messing up, people kept dying. The farmer that bought the land, I think it was the farmer that bought the land, but his, I want to say, grandson or granddaughter got hit by the tractor while he was cutting grass one time, and there's another little girl that died on the swing. Recommend a buddy of mine, the South Cats. They went up there and they were actually on, I want to say, Nuke's top five. They actually had a video on Nuke's top five that they did. Caught a freaking shadow on the bench and all that, and it was just those 2 there. I'm
Crazy.
like, it was either Nukes or Chills.
There's a lot of like mixed opinions about like Indian burial grounds, but do you believe that, you know, if you disturb them, that they will come back and haunt you, curse you?
I personally believe that the whole United States, Canada, Mexico is built on Indian burial ground. There's not one specific area. And I believe that it's just like any other cemetery, depending if you're being disrespectful to them, then yes. But if you're just trying to communicate and being as respectful as you can, I don't think anything bad would happen. But it also depending on who they were before they passed away. Like if they were like mean and hateful spirits, then there's a good chance, yeah, you can awaken them and cause something.
If you know that like it was an Indian burial ground and you purposely build something on top of it to, you know, get what you want, then you're going to
Yeah.
awaken them, and like that's just kind of disrespectful. Like that is someone's final resting place and you want to come and build something on top of it for your own monetization purposes. Like
I can agree with that too.
I feel like that's when shit would get crazy, because I wouldn't want someone building something on top of my grave. Like,
But that's like the Octagon Mansion we went to before. It's a place in Withville, Virginia, and it was a big battle there during the Civil War, and they legit built this on top of a cemetery.
ooh,
And they were telling us there was like, yes, beneath the house there's at least 10 to 15 bodies.
that is
Like
crazy.
it, I did a dowsing rod session in that place in a second. third basement. They have 3 different types of basements in there. And the third basement, I was doing a dowsing rod session, and I got shocked 3 times on my
Oh.
dowsing rods. That was pretty intense. But I agree, you should not build anything on where you know there were people buried.
Speaking of dowsing rods and other paranormal equipment, do you 100% believe that those work?
If you're near water, no, like because the Native Americans did use them to find water. So at Lake Shawnee, dowsing rods, I believe, wouldn't work there, and like any place that there's near water. But I've been to places where there's no water near and had amazing answers from the dowsing rod sessions.
So it
I
just
mean,
depends on where you're at.
yeah, yes, depends where you're at. Like, and that's with any, like, if you're in a place that has electricity, chances are a K2 meter and an EMF meter aren't going to work properly.
What's your opinion on Ouija boards? Because you and me have
I
had
love
long discussions about these.
Uh, I personally love Ouija boards, and I think that they're not as evil as everybody thinks they are. It's the way you intend to use it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you intend to summon up something evil, chances are you're gonna not have a good time.
Yeah.
Like, but I personally love Ouija boards. I've had 9 videos on YouTube where we did Ouija board sessions, something like that. I know without bringing it to Lake Shawnee because I mean you can't use them at places like that.
Because if someone sees,
But
they're like, what the hell are you doing?
but yeah, people consider them so evil and all that, but
They're
they're
almost
not.
like a taboo in the paranormal community. And
They're a
I
topic that if you bring up during a live stream, you'll have half the people agreeing with them and half the people saying that you should not use them. Like,
because I know a few people who have had like they've used it one time, and that one time they have had like a horrible, like traumatizing experience, and they will never use it again. But then like there's other people who are like, I've only had good things come out of it, so I love using it, and I feel like it's all a matter of opinion, and like obviously you're entitled to whatever, but you and me are pretty much on the same page.
I do believe they are a portal, but I also believe spirit boxes, dowsing rods, any way to communicate with the spirits, you're using a portal.
Yeah.
So
Do you believe that mirrors can also be used as a portal?
mirrors are the biggest portals you can use. I personally believe. I'm not a big fan of mirrors.
Yeah, I have a mirror right here that I sit at, and people are like, "Why do you have a mirror facing your bed?" And I'm like, "Cause I'm a fuck around and find out kind of person."
Right? I have one mirror over there that's been in my room since I moved in here, and I just hadn't touched it. I do like collecting, which all my dolls are put up. I have them in the attic, but I do like collecting dolls, like yes, antique dolls. We went to the Goodwill one time, me and a friend of mine, just looking at antique dolls, and we was talking to one of the people working there, and she was like, "Look, I'll give you this doll if you just take it and don't bring it back."
Wow,
Because
did
I've
you
just had
take it?
people. Yeah, oh yeah, we definitely took it.
Do you still have it?
Yeah, it's in the attic though.
Did anything happen with it?
No, I mean, it definitely feels like it's looking at you. Like, but I got all my dolls in the attic because my aunt's dog kind of chewed 2 of them up.
Oh man,
Yeah, that's what I said.
that
Like,
dog is gonna get cursed.
I'm like, no. But yeah, and I got my own personal Ouija board.
Oh, I love that one.
I gotta shout out to Yeah, they do amazing Ouija boards. Like you
Uh,
got one made from them, I
yeah,
think.
mine's right over there. I got a picture.
Yeah, that's actually where I found them and got in contact with them from looking at yours.
Yeah, the
And I
design.
have another friend supposedly working. His daughter made me one.
Yeah, we love Ouija boards, so
Yeah.
You and me definitely need to meet up and use a Ouija board together sometime.
I'm definitely down for a Ouija board session with you.
Hell yeah.
The scariest Ouija board session we did was a triple Ouija board. Me, Shawnee's Unexplained Adventures, and Restless Souls Paranormal. And we all had 3 different Ouija boards, and we was all getting the same answers, like on them. And
Like,
I had my eyes closed pretty much throughout the whole video, just because.
like, were you all like sitting next to each other, like
Yeah, we
using
had
them
like a little
individually?
triangle thing going.
So it was just like one of you on a single board. Okay.
Which you're not supposed to do,
Yep.
but I've been told by numerous people saying goodbye on the Ouija board does not matter. Other people told me it really doesn't matter if you say goodbye.
Yeah, some people say that if you don't say goodbye, you're not like formally closing out the board, and so that just leaves the portal open. But I don't know, because I've never had anything follow me from a Ouija board before, so.
Me neither that I know of. I know I've been touched one time using a Ouija board, and that was way before YouTube. That was back in like 2012. We was all doing it. I mean, granted, we was drunk, so I don't know how real the whole thing was. But something touched my arm, and it went like that. But it could have been one of them. Like I was really drunk that day.
Yeah, I've had a lot of experiences with Ouija boards, but I've never really had anything that has traumatized me to the point where I never want to use it again.
But when I come up, me, you, and Carly gonna have to do a Ouija board.
Oh, she will not touch a Ouija board. Oh, absolutely not. But before we run out of time, do you have any advice for new YouTubers, new explorers, new paranormal investigators that could be watching right now?
The number one advice I always have for new YouTubers: don't worry about numbers, don't worry about views, watch hours, none of that. Don't worry about your Nubscribers account. Just don't worry about the haters, because there will be trolls and haters out there.
Oh yeah. And sex bots.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Sex bots are the worst. Like, but also when you go to even if it's just an abandoned place and you're just an urban explorer, or if you're doing a paranormal investigation, try to tell at least one person where you're going, just in case something happens. Because I've been to places where we didn't tell anybody where we were going, and we run into like stalkers or something like.
Mm-hmm.
So you just got to be careful, be safe. Like my buddy Second Star Survivor would always say, bring a first aid kit or survival kit with you too, because those are good to have. I have a little first aid kit that I keep with me. It has bandages, like like not ice pack, but it's stuff that, yeah, it has all the necessities.
You never
I
know
even
when you're
got
gonna fall through a floor.
Dakota. My buddy Dakota is the worst at falling through floors.
I haven't had that happen to me yet, but I've come close.
I hit my head on the ceiling of stuff. Like, I'm always hitting my head on something. That's my problem. I'm like, my head's big enough. I should be able to miss it, but yes, just and be safe out there. Just have fun doing what you do. Don't let anyone tell you if you have paranormal in your name and you want to go out there and post kitty pictures. That's fine. Don't let someone tell you just because you have a certain title in your name, you have to stick to that only.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's your channel. Have fun. Don't let haters hate, because haters will hate. um, and keep your content, like if you're doing paranormal, keep it real. Like if you consider yourself a paranormal investigator, keep your investigations real. But if you consider yourself just an entertainer, you do you, keep your videos entertaining, because there's a big difference between
Mm-hmm.
that. That's a different subject, and We're not going to talk about that because I'm not trying to get people mad at you because I have a lot to say about that.
So where can everybody find you? What social medias do you want to have linked?
You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all of them under Adventures with Nubz, Snapchat, which I barely use Snapchat anymore. You can find me on Facebook, but that's under like my real name, Dallas Tolly. Like, if everybody knows my real name, I'm not a Cowboys fan, by the way, people.
Go Seahawks!
Go Eagles! I have fun doing what you do on YouTube.